Just over here, right? Yeah. Alright, Mr. Aliens, what do you got? Castle, eager to resume our investigations. I know I am. Do you recall the scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brandehild has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to the greater whole. He has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent made off with the starship wreckage, along with Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent might be. After all, there's a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The Inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. 'Tis horrible misfortune, Caslow. Calamitous, even. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. He's so bluish-green. More so, I mean. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald. Poo-Poo is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body? Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as Inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu! You'll blow our host's domicile to pieces. Put them away. Ahem. If I may, when I was cloned from the Inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedia understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. A Xeno-Man hybrid mind. That explains the impossible calculations. This animation's just too great. I have it. Master Poo is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold. Gods grant me strength. As a visitor to Etheris, Master Poo has no prior exposure to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection, and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! 'Tis just as I surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health. But even if it is the common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good? They almost certainly would. Based on the results of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients. The ingredients you shall have. So what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Poo-Poo's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the Kapchala, which wanders salt winds welcome. Ah, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. Sounds like a job for Caslow. The other material in question is a rare fungus, known as the damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Works' extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well. Nashu, Dillian, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandehild, You're such an expert on all things Stavnir. Oh, I wouldn't say expert. Simple conclusions from simple observations. Nothing more. As I said, I am hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need. But it is really quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? Then let us not prolong Master Poo-Poo's suffering a moment longer. Seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. Ha, Kessler. I had every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom yet eludes us. The dank shroom. The alchemist said the fungus had a few applications. They don't bother to stock it most of the time. Then I must pray my keen inspector sense to work. Stand back, whilst I attune myself to the essence of the dank. Damp. The word is damp shroom. You'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. 'Tis close, my friends. Getting closer and closer even as we speak. I hear you folk are in the market for damp shrooms. Might have some to sell if you're interested. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then. You'll give me a moment to retrieve the goods. We can finalize our transaction up at the Perfumed Rise. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildibrand, her natural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the Rise and take this man up on his timely offer. And there's our stalker in the background. He just runs out to us. Oh, you're here. Good, good. And here's the damp shroom, as promised. Oh, glad we offer your assistance. Haha, not so fast. There's still the matter of payment. Of course, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, couldn't let it go for less than 1,000,000 gil. 1,000,000 gil for a measly mushroom. It's outright robbery. A bargain, I counter. You'd pay tenfold my price on the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Nashu, how far are we for coin? We're plumb out, Inspector. Ah then, this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds on such short notice? Million gil, was it? Caslow, a savior in every sense of the word. Give that man nothing. We have you now, you deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. Razathan City Guard at your service. We received reports of this man's questionable activities, and been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damn shroom is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was, quite frankly, ludicrous. But, thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you're welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Yes, very much so. That is very, magnanimous of you. Bah! You think I enjoyed tricking fools out for their coin? If that bastard hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. He claims a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. Van Hundi, I believe his name was, purchased the trading consortium when the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy. Put a lot of people out of work. Van Hundi. I know that name. Something about an acquisition deal have gone sour. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hanish enterprise. I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there's no telling how deep the coffers of the Van Hoody are. Nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such kingly wealth so damnably fast. Truly, there is no telling how deep the coffers of this Van Hoody are, nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such kingly wealth so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely, to say the least. Whatever the source of Van Hoody's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He built a historic temple to serve as his home, commissioned a private airship, among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? Core, that swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. All in a good day's work, dear Nashu. Believe our business upon this scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry the ingredients back to Inspector Brandyhill, shall we? I can't talk tonight. I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation. The sense of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing his most hated foe. This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us and we can commence the treatment. Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you enough. Master Poo-Poo recovered his strength in mere moments. It would seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology. I came here from another world. A stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of the star are so very welcoming. You are a dear friend now, Master Poo-Poo. 'Tis our pleasure to help. And it will be my pleasure to harm. Every time. I'll not fall for the same trick twice. Fucking squigglies. Impudent worms! Taste my full power! Kobe! That's you with the fadeaway jumper. Dude, we're not getting Blitzball with these animations. Not again! the full force of their destructive beam, yet there you stand. Somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. Pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours, feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? A fine jest, but I assure you, I'm without a doubt an Uldawn-born Mandeville of terrestrial Hurrian stock. He's Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, an Inspector Extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to even begin? But never mind, we have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. Time we reopen the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Charlayans. I'm all but certain they've allied with insidious extraterrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I wager we'll find what they're looking for in old Charlayan. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. Trust me, they'd sooner flee the star than attempt to subject it. While Master Adelian's theories lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Charlayan sets a standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomena. Mayhap their experts have been tracking extraterrestrial movements. I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptiveness. Nay, my friend. I too, since our paths point to the Isle of the Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlayan immediately. So, this is the city of learning. Sophisticated gentlemen should feel right at home here. How are you all not sick to your stomachs? Experimental aetherites make travel exponentially more fun. Sometimes I feel as though I'm the only normal person in this group of eccentrics. But this is not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it the Charlayan secret agents travel the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home in service to a confidential research project. Said project is conducted in a huge underground facility. If we're to find answers, then that's where we need to look. Labyrinthos, not a military facility. I say, this Labyrinthos sounds promising. Say we head down there and make inquiries as to where the whereabouts of our missing alien friend. Simply take a lift from the Hall of the Artifice, yes? And let us be on our way. Do you wish to descend into Labyrinthos, sir? My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions, or we can allow them entrance. If it is assurances you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge us trustworthy. I could certainly make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. Admission to Labyrinthos is a subject to foreign policy. You're the ones who should be judged. I know you're hiding aliens and xenotechnology in that underground base of yours. Admit it. Xenotechnology? I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yet again our paths cross in the most serendipitous fashion. For father, what business do you have in Charlian? I'm in search of a certain object, one crucial to the continued refinement of the Mandeville weaponry. My investigations lead me to believe it is found here, in Labyrinthos. But as you also seem to have business down below. This is my son and his bosom companion. If I vouch for their character, will you kindly allow them to board the lift? Ah, Master Godbert Vanderbilt. The form sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the Syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage of up to 5 members. I consider their permissions granted. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany me to the Archaeum. The stalker doesn't get to come. Shiny silver saucer. I'm sorry, but we have no record of such an object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or so you would have us believe. But the purpose of this complex, this military fortress, is plain. You cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. We are not conducting any secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel, but it was neither for military purposes nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sprinkling of the truth, are we? Fine. I'll dig up the facts myself, and then everyone will hear what you're really up to. While I cannot assist you on your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion. You do? And where was this, pray tell? At Meryl Ergonomics, in the medial second. The lift at the back of the building will take you down there. Many thanks, my good man. Well, well, it seems you found yourselves a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to, so I shall bid you good hunting and good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agent of inquiry. And friends, is in order. To Meryl Ergonomics, as we go. Wonderful. That corroborates the information I but moments ago skillfully squirreled out of this farm. She claims to be an acquaintance of the gleaner in question. In fact, and we'll bring him to talk to us shortly. Let's round up the others. We should all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. Ah, you're the good folks with about the little blue man, yes? Oh, and you've brought someone who's practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here, then? They certainly were. Here a moment or 3, I'll tell you the whole tale. To begin at the beginning, I was in Thavnir on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance. In the wagon they rode bore a damaged vessel, the likes of which I'd never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have a certain weakness for oddities. Thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and his cargo. The man was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garland to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflict, there would be need for medicinal goods. The state of affairs was rather more volatile than he anticipated, however, and he was soon forced to abandon his venture. So the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly thereafter discover a strange silvery ship and its shaken pilot crash-landed in a snowfield. It cannot be coincidence. The story continues. After extricating the battered vessel and its occupant from the snow, he brought them home to Razat Han. His guests wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinth, and after they agreed to the idea, I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Almazian engineers who worked on the Ark were stymied by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fellow eventually resorted to drafting schematics, while the engineer followed these step-by-step to craft the essential bits and bobs. The apothecary and his companion were waiting here at Mariel. And then what happened? Well, once our industrious visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair then departed almost immediately, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of them since. I told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but, being typical Charlatans, which other would have happily forfeited the coin for a chance to pore over every square ilm of that ship. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm beginning to think that such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of star-faring craft. And that little blue man, well, he must have been an alien from another world. Or so I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Thavnarian truth, you see. I love to entertain these idle flights of fancy. But I've rambled for too long. There are errands to attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Can it be true? I have a readership in Charlayan. Perhaps I've misjudged these people. 'Twould seem your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Poo-Poo, and in the company of a Hanish alchemist of undisclosed description. Yes, this is wonderful news. I'm grateful indeed that we made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Razat Han and continue the search. To summarize our findings, we now know Master Poo-Poo's friend is safe and in the company of a Hanish gentleman, possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. Father, you returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful? That it was, although laying hands on the object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. Much painstaking research revealed to me the existence of the hereditary Mandeville relic, within which slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Yet though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reasons for its absence became clear when I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of visiting scholars' keen interest in the relic, and how he surrendered it into Charlayan safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Labyrinthos. It turns out the Charlayans never did find time to conduct their analysis. The custodian and I found the curio tucked away in the dusty corner of the Archaea, still awaiting processing. And here it is. An oddity every bit as perplexing as Godbrand's cipher-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wisdom? Oh, we can help with that. These devices were made by Mandervillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded. The Vanderbilt family are aliens. Starfaring? Mandervillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with a mastery of advanced technologies. Our peoples shared ideas and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us the clearest view, however. And let us retire to our rooms in common and dim the lanterns. We must behold these secrets in optimal conditions. Mandervillians. Coincidental naming. Is there some deeper connection? I can't believe the joke thing that everybody was saying was that Vanderbilts would come from outer space, and then it's true. Everyone comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us. I am Godbrand, wanderer of stars and weaponsmith extraordinaire. First Lord of House Mandeville. This is the Godbrand? My founding father? I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long. I bid you watch until the very end. Heirs of mine, not a man born of this star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race which hails from the far side of the great expanse. Mandervillians are parasitic symbiotes. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Once our essence has taken root, we supplant the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new form with steel-like resilience. I knew there was something alien about those impossible imperviousness. Then, through the conjoining of our compatible host bodies, we produce an offspring which harbor the next generation of Mandervillians. This symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of a potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until, tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Every planet upon which we Mandervillians resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. The final days. It sounds rather familiar, so even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship, fled upwards into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenon. But the rigours of the journey had so damaged our craft that we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death. But even as I resigned myself to perishing on this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come looking for the falling star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms for hosts. After hearing my story, however, this sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady, and with little time left to live, seems content to know that his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of its fatal frailty. Yet the mind which dwelled within was now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technology to ply the blacksmith's trade. I wed a local lass, and together we had a child. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology. A boon I suspect shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of this star are most fragile. Yet, as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative attributes in my armory of Manderville armaments for the benefit of these wonderful peoples, whom I hold in the highest regard. And an astounding development. I, Hildibrand Hilidor Maximilian Mandeville, shall heed this passionate plea of my illustrious forebear. No case is too big nor too small, should it be in service of my fellow man. He learns he's descended from an extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. But wait a minute. Then why is Lady Julian so monstrously strong? Is she a descendant of aliens too? Well. This is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that self-same blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that. Ah, but 'tis unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I will bring our Mandeville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand, and for the good of our star. Ah, before I forget, I have a gift for you, Caslow. Pray await me in the Aetherite Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Some truths can shatter the foundations of our beliefs when brought to light. But I have to say, this wasn't one of them. The more staggering discovery was that I had devoted readers in Charlie. Those who peruse my publication are allies against the ever-expanding webs of lies and deception, without exception. I've misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or architects of conspiracy. They are but seekers of knowledge, unafraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. The Master Poo-Poo, though, that one still has ulterior motives. Got my life on it. Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength when he shows his true colors. I hope you've not been waiting long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest question spared me indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought it only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. Consider it a memento of your adventures together. Ah, and as for our Manderville weaponry project, relieving my ancestors' artifact has unlocked the door to the next stage of improvements. Should you find time to offer your assistance, announce yourself to Master Jolt, and I shall endeavor to join you with the utmost celerity. Celerity? I don't know. Until then, my dear Castle. Next time. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Thavne. Lord Van Hoody, come with ill tidings. Professor Luguet set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. The blithering dolt. He making clones of himself? What for? No matter. Preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. Hate that my G-Shade does that to it. Or technically Reshade. Still can't believe the Mandervilles are actually aliens. That was such a joke that people made. It wasn't supposed to be true.